So Sydney, Jackie, and I are planning a surf trip to an exotic part of the world, and we looked at 4 destinations in particular. The first was Tahiti, the second, North Shore, and the third was Argentina, and then we had Los Angeles, just in case we didn't want to travel so far. So we went on numerous surf websites, including Surfline, and looked at wave projections for December 1st, the date of our trip. And so we came up with a mean in these different locations. So for Tahiti, the average wave projections for December 1st were 7 feet. In North Shore, they were 6 feet. North Los Angeles, 5 feet. And in Central Argentina, 6.5 feet. But then we created standard deviations based on what other surf websites were projecting for December 1st and what other surf websites were projecting for the days surrounding our surf trip. So for Tahiti, for instance, we had a much bigger range of surf projections, so wave height, around our trip and from different websites, and so we had a higher standard deviation of 4. North Shore, only 2. North Los Angeles, only 1.5 feet. And then in Central Argentina, only 2 feet. And so you would assume that because Tahiti has the highest mean, that should be the location of our trip, but that is in fact not the case because it has a higher standard deviation. And so for us, we wanted to minimize risk when we plan this trip because obviously it's going to take a lot of our time. And so we said, okay, we want to go somewhere where the waves are going to be over 4 feet tall. And so for Tahiti, we used the percent rank function to determine what's the percentage of chance that our waves will be over 4 feet in Tahiti. And so we had 80% here. In the North Shore, we had 85%, North Los Angeles, 74%, and in Central Argentina, 90%. So once again, we would assume that Central Argentina is the place to go because waves are almost guaranteed to be over 4 feet, but that is in fact, once again, not the case. So we created a decision tree, and in our decision tree, we took into account not only the size of waves, so whether they were good or bad, but also the cost of our trip. So a cost of a plane flight to Tahiti is around $1,800, to the North Shore only $800, North Los Angeles only $133, and in Central Argentina $1,300. And so we then associated benefits to these different trips. And so for Tahiti, we said, okay, if we get good waves in Tahiti, the benefit will then be $2,000. But if we get bad waves, the benefit will be 50, which is a really low number because we don't know anyone in Tahiti, and our trip will be a flop if we end up going there and the waves are bad. We then said for the North Shore, $1,800 because it's also an exotic location and we'd love to surf there, but $500 for bad waves because if the waves end up being bad, we can pivot our trip and hang out with friends. North Los Angeles. So Los Angeles isn't an exotic location like North Shore and Tahiti, so the benefit of good waves is so-so, around $1,200, but the benefit of bad waves isn't so bad either because it's North Los Angeles and we know a lot of people there, and so we can do a lot of other things, so we said $800. For Central Argentina, good waves $1,700 and bad waves $200. And then we cross-multiplied the benefit times the percentage of good waves and bad waves, which we got from our histograms, and came up with an expected value for each trip. And so if we run our program multiple times, we see that North Shore ends up being the most desired location. I'd probably say 9 out of 10 times with the occasional Tahiti trip, but as we see, North Shore is the most desired location in a close race, with it being around 1580, Tahiti a little less at 1560, Central Argentina 1530, and North Los Angeles around 1000. So Hawaii it is.